So, hello, I'm so excited today to be joined by Mags Bradshaw, MD of Performance for Sales. Hi, Mags.
Hi, Roz. Been looking forward to today.
Yeah. So, I'm Ros Jones, and I'm delighted because I'm a business coach, but I have been blown away by the Performance for Sales, the marketing performance framework that you have created, Mags.
Yes.
And I just thought it would be great to have you just have a chat about how you came to do it and the impact that it's having and why more people need to take notice of this amazing product.
Thank you, Roz. And absolutely, yeah, and thank you so much for that. And it's great to be with you. Absolutely. I'll tell you the reason behind all of this. And when I worked for many years, so 20 years as a marketing manager in a professional services firm, loved it, and did get to a point where I thought, "You know what, I can't be the only person in the world who has this challenge of like, what is marketing? How do you explain it? How do you explain this incredible thing that goes on in a business where someone is coordinating all kinds of things? And how do we extract that role of coordinating marketing from the delivery of services and talents in marketing? It's a big old thing.
Yeah.
So I kind of decided to draw it, Roz. There's a thing. There's a thing. And kind of thought we need to have some same page thinking. So I just set out with this really very sort of clear vision of being able to bring a clear one solution, kind of define the role that marketing plays in business. And that's what led me to leave the job, set up and create it, really. So
Okay.
that was where it started.
So you had a vision, or was it
Yeah.
you put the pen to paper and then it all came alive?
I did. I mean, to be fair, I did actually put the pen to paper and then I put the pen to the wallpaper, Roz.
Okay.
There's the thing. So got some wallpaper, rolled it out, and I drew. I literally just drew it all down, kind of got out of my head. It was that whole brain dump thing. But what I did, and I think this is why it's sort of where we are now, and it's kind of not just, I don't think it's a case of stood the test of time. I think why it's there and it's a future-proofing thing is because it's built on genuine experience, absolute beliefs, real clarity, and values.
Yeah. Fab.
You
So
know, that's the core of that.
one of the things, Max, that I find with businesses that I work with, sometimes they're caught in this place. There's this sort of this difficult place where they're a growing business. They've got a team. They're growing. The inquiries, the orders are coming in, and they say to me, "Well, if we start marketing now, then we won't be able to deliver." And I say, absolutely, you can't go out there and market in the traditional
Yeah,
way because you can't deliver, and then you just piss people off because you're not
yeah.
delivering. So, what do you say to people caught in that situation? What does marketing mean there?
Well, do you know, here we go, Roz. So, talking about this with somebody else the other day. It's such a thing, okay? Coming back to what is marketing anyway? And
Yes.
it's not a tap, you don't turn it on and off. But do you know what, right? Here's a couple of scenarios. So let's take accounting for a moment. Okay, then I am going somewhere with this, but
Okay.
accounting.
Maybe.
Do you ever in your life hear someone go, accounting? Oh, year end? Do you know what? I tried a year end once and it's not for me,
Yeah.
right? Like, I'm too busy packing the boxes and getting the gear out to my customers and, doing all this. I'm too busy to entertain all that year end nonsense. You don't hear that. Like you don't, because in business we just know that we've got to be with our numbers, we've got to know it, we've got to do our accounts correctly. It's an absolute fundamental core part of business. So here we want to say, actually, do you know what? Marketing has to be, it's like leveling up business processes. We need to level up business processes and marketing needs to be up there. You don't turn it on and off. It comes back to knowing and thinking what it is.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, when you said there, about the whole, oh, we haven't got time for that, people tend to align it more with a piece of activity
Yeah.
on a to-do list that Betty might get chance to do at 3 on a Friday. You know, if we continue to see it as that, we'll never get away from being like the hamster on the wheel and then we've got all these crazy opinions, mixed perceptions, all kinds of expectations, and yet we're not giving this thing in business the chance to do what it should. So we
Yeah.
have got to start off with what the devil it is anyway.
Yeah.
But also kind of see that it's got to be given chance to breathe. It's got to be given the space. Otherwise, it's just such a mismatch. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's
I
that whole thing.
do.
We can't.
Yeah, I do. I had this amazing experience and I sort of thought of you at the time, actually. It's quite simple. I did a little post about it on LinkedIn, actually, which went viral, to be fair, but for other reasons, not for the reason that I would have wanted it to go viral. I went to a bar and was ordering a glass of wine. And there was just one person behind the bar, and this elderly, even more elderly than I am, this elderly lady came in and just like
Oh, God.
so politely said, I'm sorry to butt in, but I really need to use your toilets. Is that okay? And the young woman behind the bar said, no, because they're for customers only. And this poor old lady, she was like, oh, I need to go. I need to go. The station master said I need to go. And I said, well, just go in there. She said, no, because she scares me. And anyway, I won't go on about that story, but
Yeah.
to me, that was marketing done badly. I don't know what to
Yes.
think to
You
that.
see, this is exactly, don't you think? Because what people probably, and I think this is like come back to that whole framework thing. I think it's about how we kind of see marketing. And if we can see and recognize that customer service, communication and
Yeah,
delivery, it's kind of keeping your promises, really, isn't it?
yeah,
It's
absolutely.
such an integral part of this because it's all centered around values
Yeah,
in a business. And everyone's on board with that. The thing that gets me is when we say, oh, non-marketeers versus marketeers. We're sort of creating gaps where we really don't need gaps.
yeah, 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 yeah. And
And
this particular example it just felt like lunacy
but
to me because you just
yes,
don't know whether this individual was a customer last week or she would be tomorrow.
but she
So
might be tomorrow.
she
And she might have a friend, Roz, and she
precisely.
might now say, don't go there.
Yeah, precisely. And that's what struck me. I mean, in
Yeah.
the post, it sort of went off on a tangent, but that's what I saw, and I thought of you.
Yeah. So well, I'm pleased to know this when you think of me. I
Yeah,
mean, it might be we have to have a glass of wine another time, but I'm pleased you thought of me there. Here's one for you, just reminded me of. I was in a shop just prior to Christmas, and when you're in a queue and then you wait and you get to the till and someone goes, sorry about your wait. Interesting because marketing is so much about psychology as well. And I was like, I was in a queue, got to the till, and the woman said, oh, thank you so much for waiting, or thank you so much for your patience. She used just slightly different words, and it was so much nicer.
yeah,
Because if the person in front of me hears her say, I'm sorry about your wait, does the person in front of me then feel really awkward because they feel like they've held me up?
yes, yes, yeah, 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 yeah,
Do you know what I mean? But this woman,
yeah,
she just gave a different word, which would make me feel nice and make the person in front of me still feel valued.
yeah. No, I get that. Yeah, that's
And
really powerful.
yeah, and it's just sometimes those really subtle points around customer service because the direct impact is going to be how they're going to refer to you. Because I don't know if today's the day, Roz, but are we going to get started on the word of mouth thing?
Yes.
Oh, there's one.
I don't need to do marketing because it's just word of mouth.
It's just word of mouth. Why do I bother? I just rely on word of mouth. That's nice.
Yeah, exactly. That's your best kind of marketing.
That's the best. And I love that because we love tackling it and taking it on. I think this is the whole thing about having a very visible way of looking at it and framework
Yeah.
because we can't fall into these traps of using kind of phrases that really have no meaning. I understand where we're going with the whole word of mouth thing, but I think we've got to be more scientific
I
because we
think so.
don't.
I mean, that's the thing about the word marketing, and I know you start the conversation trying to get people to share what they think marketing is, but
Mm.
so often these days, marketing automatically means either paying a fortune in Google ads or posting on social media, and
Yeah,
it's digital marketing,
yeah,
but it's just one of thousands of different elements, isn't it? That's the thing.
and it
So we
is.
need to.
I know.
You're disrupting the market, Mags.
You are, and surely, and I always say, get chop ing off the end, and what are you left with? It's clearly
Exactly.
a market stall, and I'm not being funny. You're not going to sell your fruit and veg without the stall. So your
Yeah,
whole market bit, it's setting your stall out. It's literally as straightforward as that. So of course you're going to do it. It's like
yeah,
the accounting. You're not in business and don't do accounts. So
yeah,
if you're in business, you are by default. You've got a process there. Do you know what? I think the thing is, it depends how a business sees it, but how they can actually get hold of it. It's
yeah,
kind of,
yeah,
I always think it's something that's sat there waiting for you in your business to get a different hold of it.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, and you know when you said something like we don't do marketing and all that, this is a classic. And somebody said to me the other day, we tried it and it didn't work. So I said, what did you do? They said, we got some mugs. So I was like, okay, okay,
Yeah,
there's the thing. So I think we're trying to sort of cut through all of this
yeah,
because you
yeah,
kind of hear the same things, and
yeah.
surely we can't just accept that as being okay.
Precisely. And there is a thing that I've heard in terms of when I've been talking about the performance, the whole performance for sales movement, the marketing framework, um, where people say, well, we've been in business 20 years. We've got a team who does all that. We don't need to hear more. What's been your experience in that regard, Mags?
Yeah, I think the key thing there is okay, so let's explore then how in your business, what space are you creating in your business that allows your team to start showing more of where they're impacting, where they're making a difference in your business, how you're supporting your team's growth and development. Because I've got to be honest with you, Roz, people probably may not naturally consider a marketing strategy to be the solution to those situations, when
Yeah,
in fact it really is.
yeah,
Because again, if we track back and go, yeah, okay, it's a process, but it is the very process for people to perform on. So if you've been in business 20 years, you want to remain obviously in business. You may well have people that you want to develop, more people to come onto the team as you grow. So, and it may be that some of the key practices, if you like, of activities around marketing are kind of happening, but what is being done in the company to save time, improve productivity, align, people, and give opportunities to the team.
yeah,
These are further things that can be unlocked. Because the marketing performance framework is the one that, that we talk about, and that's what the training's all centered around. Because it's not based on algorithms.
no,
It's based on people's efforts, time, and input into that company.
yeah,
Because it's the one measurable we've all got.
yeah,
And, I kind of think people in a team, so back to that point about having the team when we're already doing it. Equally, there's a lot of talk out there about people getting burnt out when it comes to marketing, and it still comes back to this whole kind of mismatch of what we think it is and how it needs to be used. So if we flip the thinking and see it more as a connected way to sort of support people and their activities and results, it's a more positive way of working. So we are kind of we're tipping on its head. Much
yeah,
more positive way of working, much better way to engage, I say, a team, upskill, and to give people sort of this thing where people say, I can't do that, I'm not a marketeer, it's out of my comfort zone. What if we presented you a way where you could see, well, actually, I could do that for you.
yeah,
I can help on that bit because I can see where my role fits into this marketing strategy. And I'm now thinking, do you know what? I'm going to grow my confidence. I can work better with that team. I could see how I could help and impact there. All of that is going to mean happier team,
definitely.
brighter business.
Yeah, and everybody working towards the same goals as well, the vision.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. I think it's this myth that a marketing strategy is just a set of tasks or any kind of document in a ring binder that we do once a year. And I think it's repositioning
yeah,
how that strategy can look. And it's literally blank, let's start blank sheet of paper and we'll sketch it out.
yeah. So what kind of I know you've been working really hard and spreading the word and the and getting the training done and helping businesses to implement it. What kind of results
Yeah.
are you finding?
We're seeing really impactful results. To be fair, sometimes even I've got to take a step back and go, wow, that's just That's amazing. We've gone from kind of one extreme to the other, really. We've had a situation with a one-man band, literally, who has only been a year and a half, if that, into his business. So had that salaried role. All of a sudden, he's got his own business. Things are very, very different. You know, he's having to now do things he's not familiar with, and it can be overwhelming. And I think he heard the word marketing a few times, and then sort of panic set in. And actually, what's happened is, because we've had and been working on this, the training, the mentoring, the support around the framework, that has, and I'll use his words, but that has completely changed his mindset. He now feels better about his business. He's excited to construct the strategy with us using that framework. He's seeing more opportunities. He feels there is a successful path ahead. So I think that's really empowering for
Yeah,
him.
yeah, it's absolute confidence
That,
boosting. Yeah.
yeah, it is, isn't it? Because
And I think one also because the issues that I find a lot with when I'm working with business owners is, especially when you start working with the team rather than the business owner themselves, is fear. Just getting out of your comfort zone. They'll find every single reason not to do something. They're so busy doing something, they don't want to try it because of that fear. And it sounds like, from what you've talked about that guy, that you've actually helped him gain confidence and
it is.
not afraid now.
Exactly. And people say, what are the key skills in marketing? And I think I'd put my hand up and go, actually, do you know what? I think they're patience, resilience, and confidence.
Yeah, yeah,
Because no one's got all the answers. I think this is the other thing, and I think this is where we're very passionate about the framework, because it's very transparent in a way, in terms of we're bringing some clear accountability. We're clearly aligning people to business outcomes, because the framework is all built on outcomes. It's built on 12 essential business outcomes. So we start with why, and then we track back. And this is then not, like we said before, it's not about the algorithms, but it's about people, their performance, impact, and results. And it's being able to then explore ways of solving challenges,
yeah,
exploring ways of maximizing ideas. That's the whole point with it. So, that guy there, we create that space for him to feel better. And then we've done some work with a company turning over 15 million. And they've got as a new guy on the team, he wants to produce a strategy for the sort of the senior leadership team. Creating a strategy for a marketing strategy is not something he's done previously. So we supported him,
yeah,
and we've worked through again. So he's got the framework. But I think we've got to sort of also say and be quite bold about this, really, is no matter what size of business you're in, there's some key markers that you're going to need to achieve,
yes,
like any business.
yeah,
Every business needs new customers. Every business needs to be able to understand the market and learn where are those customers. Every business needs to create and narrate their story, and every business should have some decent values, I'd
yeah,
like to think.
yeah, absolutely.
So yeah,
And what's this? I've seen this hashtag MPF.
and yeah, she
What's
says,
that? What's that about? Is that
what's
your
going
creative?
on?
Yeah, what's
What the
going on?
hashtag MPF is going on here, Roz?
And this is all about disrupting this marketplace and getting the
It
word
is.
out there.
It is,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, I think politely, nicely, and as
yeah,
nicely as we can be,
yeah,
disrupting the whole thing.
yeah,
Because yeah, so what we're saying is hashtag marketing performance framework. There, you heard
mhm,
it here. Woo! Because we were going to go like, what the heck is marketing anyway? But we decided to slot that in there
yeah,
so we can start trying to drive people to this meaning, if you like,
yeah,
and start changing thinking around measuring effectiveness of marketing using an operational performance framework.
yeah,
I think just to cut through this thing of, I'm in marketing, I've spent 40 hours working for you this week, Roz, and do you know what? We're going to assess my performance depending on whether Bobby in Sydney clicked link at 4 in the morning. Is we're gonna judge me by that. No, we're not. No, we're really not.
yeah,
I think it's repositioning this completely
yeah,
and making it a positive space for people and putting it as a process. So this is where we're disrupting things with this different thinking.
yeah. I love it, and I think that those the hashtags when we start seeing those around, it's going to ignite curiosity, isn't it? And that's
Yeah,
what we really
absolutely.
need to be. As I always say, if you're not growing, then you're dying. So we need to
Yeah,
be igniting this curiosity to think about how can we think about this in a different way?
Absolutely. And I think, do you know what? If I look back at the work we've been doing, certainly, as part of the other business, in a way, looking at the work we've been doing with those companies, it's been very much around that. And actually, we just completed some work with another organisation, and the two directors almost pushed themselves away from the desk. When they pushed themselves away, they went, "Do you know what? We totally see this differently. We
Wow.
couldn't see this more differently now if we tried."
Yeah.
And they've literally overhauled everything. And I think what they've realized and really get is the power of knowledge. The marketing performance framework and the whole hashtag MPF that we're bringing is sort of saying this is about knowledge movement. And a marketing strategy is a bit like an octopus as well, and you should have a little tentacle everywhere. I think I'm just nosy. I think this is what I was born to do. I'm just
Yeah.
completely nosy.
Yeah.
We've got to be everywhere. We've got to know in that business what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think in that marketing process in any company has got to be able to connect across a team.
Yeah.
Move knowledge. Someone somewhere in that company is going to know a golden nugget of something.
I love this. Years ago, I used to work in knowledge management, and it was all about knowledge is power, but let's share it across your whole organization. Yeah.
Love it. Absolutely.
But Max, now I'm delighted. So I am a licensor or licensee,
You
I should
are.
say, of this. So
Training partner.
I'm
Training
the
partner, Ross.
training partner. Yes, I'm delighted to be able to share this, this amazing framework and everything about it with other businesses. Where do people go? Where's the first place people should go to get more information?
I think, well, there's probably a couple of places. So we're going to give you a shout out here, Roz, to be fair, as one of our training partners. So you absolutely need to check out Roz's website, the Business Wellbeing Club, where there'll be details of events. Alternatively, it's Performance for Sales. Performanceforsales.co.uk, and that's where this is all being really sort of led from as well, and you can explore their training partners, what that community looks like, get involved in the conversation. We're also going to be out on the road quite a lot over the next 2 or 3 months, taking hashtag MPF all over the place.
Lovely. I like that. You're doing a roadshow.
We're
Fantastic.
doing road shows.
Yeah.
Sheffield, Birmingham, London, and Brighton. We're coming at you.
Oh, wow. Amazing. I love
So
it.
we're on the road, and
Yeah.
I think this is where you can check out the events of our training partners, as well as our events where we'll kind of share more for anybody else that's keen to be involved as a training partner or deliverer. And that's where the conversation is happening. We also really love to hear what other people feel and think around marketing and get
Yeah.
it and what it means to them.
Yeah. Yeah. Fab.
So
Thank you so
yeah,
much, Max. We're loving this. Love
brilliant.
your energy. Love the framework. Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity to share this with other people as well.
Well, Roz, honestly, it's an absolute pleasure. We are so, so pleased to have you on board. And, and for people listening and hearing and seeing this content here, I think it's just really important to say, look, this is a really clear, easy to use framework that can be embedded in your business to support your culture and everything. And we make it very, very comprehensive so that everyone can get involved and be a part of the marketing success in a business. So thank you so much. Great you're with us, Roz. Brilliant.